I'm going to show you how to decode the hidden cipher behind your current suffering, revealing that what seems to be destroying your life is actually the force trying to liberate your soul from a structure that no longer fits you. Ignoring the call of this discomfort today is sentencing yourself to repeat cycles of emptiness and exhaustion, missing the window of opportunity that the universe opens only when chaos reaches its peak. Through constant observation of the human journey and the deep study of the laws of consciousness, we understand that the spirit does not seek comfort, but expansion, and expansion rarely happens in a state of rest. You may think you've failed or that life is being unfair, but the common mistake is confusing the walls falling down with the end of the shelter, when in reality, it's just the worn-out roof collapsing so you can finally see the sky. In the next few minutes, we're going to transform this pressure into presence, with a silence practice that will take less than 5 minutes of your day, but can permanently change the way you face whatever is weighing on you. There is a form of exhaustion that is not cured by sleep, but by lucidity. The discomfort inhabiting you today isn't a wrong turn. It is the necessary pressure of life trying to break through the shell of an identity that has become too small for your soul. As Khalil Gibran taught us, suffering is just the breaking of the shell that encloses understanding. An alchemical process where pain acts as the fire that purifies the metal. We are not here to seek temporary relief or formulas for self-suggestion, but to face the dark night as a foundation for new ground. If chaos has taken hold, it's because the old structure, built on fears, masks, and compromises, no longer has the ethical support to carry the truth now seeking to emerge within you. What you call a crisis is, in essence, the collapse of the false so that the essential can, finally, breathe. And that breathing often begins with the recognition of a weariness that isn't physical. It is the awakening in the midst of a landscape that no longer recognizes us. Many of us live through what we might call a repetitive hell. It's that feeling that, whether at work or in relationships, we are walking in circles, tripping over the same stones. This burnout you feel isn't a mistake of fate or a character flaw. In Carl Jung's view, what we do not transform into consciousness becomes destiny. Therefore, the emptiness you feel when you wake up or go to bed is, in fact, a fertile void. It is the soul saying that the banquet of illusions you've accepted until now can no longer sustain who you've become. We validate your fatigue. It is the signal that you are ready to stop being who others expect, and start being who you truly are. But this shedding of skin is rarely painless. It manifests as the friction between who you were and who you are becoming, a sensation much like the discomfort of a tight shoe. Imagine a shoe that was comfortable for years, but today hurts your feet with every step. The problem isn't the path, nor necessarily the shoe. The discomfort arises because your foot, your consciousness, has grown. You no longer fit into the life you built. Friedrich Nietzsche reminded us that one must still have chaos in oneself to give birth to a dancing star. What you call a crisis is actually the cracking of the seed's shell. For the seed, the dark soil and the pressure feel like the end, but for the flower, it is only the beginning. What pinches you today is what is molding your new way of walking in the world, with more truth and fewer masks. Understand that this friction isn't a sign that something is wrong with you, but rather the exact mechanism of your awakening. Frequently, we pray for our problems to disappear, without realizing they are what keep us on the path of evolution. Without the error, we wouldn't seek the correction. Without the stumble, we wouldn't look at the ground where we walk. Adversity isn't knocking you down. It's knocking down the ego's defenses that prevent your light from shining. As ancient wisdom says, the vessel is only useful because of the empty space it carries inside. Your wounds are the points where the light of presence begins to enter. Learn to look at your current challenge not as a punishment, but as a stern yet necessary master, inviting you to the mastery of yourself. However, when we accept that the challenge is a master, we run a new risk, trying to win the lesson too quickly, using spirituality as an anesthetic to avoid feeling what needs to be felt. There is a danger on the path of self-knowledge, the rush to resolve, the discomfort just to silence the soul. Often, we seek magical answers or transcendental practices simply as an escape from the lesson the now is trying to teach. The ego wants immediate relief, but the soul seeks real transformation. Authentic spirituality isn't about avoiding the storm, but about finding the still center while the winds blow. What if the answer you seek isn't at the end of the problem, but immersed in the very heart of the discomfort? Accepting what hurts is the first step toward that pain losing its power to govern you. How do we take this into practical life? By transforming the patience developed in difficult environments, like that monotonous job or that challenging relationship, into an unshakable strength. Every moment of resistance you cross with awareness is raw material for a new ethical and mature posture. You are training your soul to no longer be tossed from side to side by external circumstances. Emotional healing begins when you stop fighting what you feel and start observing it with kindness. You aren't broken. You are in transition. Today's chaos is the womb of tomorrow's peace. This acceptance isn't an abstract or isolated act. It is proven on the ground of life, in the silence of ordinary hours. It is in the weight of daily life that this new consciousness converts into an unshakable force. I invite you to a small practice of reconnection. Wherever you are, place your hand on your chest and feel the rhythm of your heart. Imagine that every pressure you feel now is like the water of a river that, although it seems to push you, is only washing away what no longer serves you. Inhale presence, exhale resistance. What if the pain that confuses you today is, in fact, the language of your soul trying to guide you back home? If these words touched something inside you, perhaps it's time to take one more step on this path of reunion with your inner truth. Subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications to continue receiving content that nourishes the soul with presence and authenticity. Share in the comments what resonated with your heart. Your story might be the mirror someone else needed to find. If you are looking for a safe harbor, know that our community is the sanctuary where fertile silence is shared and deepened. Check out the channel's posts. And to keep expanding this field of presence, we suggest the video pinned in the card. Peace and light.